And here we are, folks, the last installment of the Bill Hodges or Mr. Mercedes trilogy by Stephen King, End of Watch. And I'm just so glad that it is finally over, because let me tell you, this book in particular, End of Watch, is a whole lot of bullshit. Is a whole lot of shenanigans. It's a whole lot of tomfoolery that I am not a fan of in any way, shape, or form. What happens to Brady Harsfield in this book, even though I'm completely indifferent to his character, what happens to him in this book is just such nonsensical, gibberish nonsense that it is such the highest level of absolute, ludicrous, preposterous balderdash. Okay? It's just claptrap. What is this? Okay? We're just gonna tackle this, the main thing, right off the bat, because it's the only thing that we should talk about. For no reason in particular, for absolutely no reason, Stephen King, in this installment, in this last book, he decided to pull some supernatural hijinks right out of his ass. Okay, because in this book, for no reason, inexplicably, Brady Harsfield develops superpowers. Now, the other two books were kind of grounded in reality. What made them interesting was that it was just people trying to stop this maniac from doing bad things. And that was fine. That was, it was an investigative crime thriller, whatever. Fine. It was grounded in reality. But in this End of Watch, Stephen King decides that even though Brady Harsfield has been in a coma vegetative state for years because Holly Gibney just caved his skull in, right? Brady Harsfield develops superpowers. Listen, he not only can project his consciousness in technology, so he can invade and take over, I don't know, tablets, computers, cell phones, I don't know. He can project his consciousness or his soul into technology, into electronics. And not only that, he can, through these electronics, he can project his consciousness in other living people, and he can manipulate all of these people with his consciousness through technology. You know, he can manipulate people to do all sorts of things, like them committing suicide or whatever, committing crimes, and that's not enough. Brady Harsfield can also swap bodies. So he can shoot his consciousness into another person and completely take over their bodies. Okay? He can infiltrate other people with his consciousness and just take them over like controlling puppets. He substitutes their consciousness for his own. Right? And it's just like putting on a new pair of socks. And I'm just like, this is some bullshit of unprecedented dumbness. Like, listen, generally speaking, End of Watch is generally hated by a lot of Stephen King fans or readers in general, because this is just utter nonsense. Listen, there is absolutely no precedent whatsoever and no reason whatsoever why Brady Harsfield should develop these powers, telekinesis, and I don't know what else, right? I don't know the words. It's just so inexplicable. And let me tell you why this happens. It is because we have arrived at a stalemate. The story itself has stagnated. I mean, what else could he have done since Brady Hartsfield is in a vegetative state / coma. What could he have done, Stephen King, to make this story interesting? Of course, he's gonna pull some of this bullshit, hijinks, shenanigans, tomfoolery. Oh, Brady Hartsfield, he's a techno wizard, and he can project his consciousness in technology. I'm like, get out of here, bro. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. And nobody can deny this, okay? Because I am a writer myself, I can clearly see that, unfortunately, Stephen King arrived at an obstacle. And the only way for him to pass this obstacle was to give Brady Hartsfield supernatural powers. That still does not save this book. This book is utter trash. This book is, let me say it like this. In comparison to the other two books, Mr. Mercedes and Finders Keepers, End of Watch, to me at least, feels like filler. This is a filler episode most of the time. 80% of this book is just absolute filler, and I am not a fan of this. Okay? Again, Jerome is still kind of there. He's just a one-dimensional character, to me at least. Holly Gibney, I mean, Stephen King tries to do stuff with her, of course, but she's still not at the level that I want her to be as a character, right? Bill Hodges, unfortunately, we still do not explore him beneath this first level of he is an OG, old school detective, and he wants to solve this case, by golly, and of course, Stephen King, yet again, pulls this nonsense straight out of his ass because Bill Hodges, our boy, our protagonist, Kermit, he just develops prostate cancer out of nowhere. This is, again, I understand why this has to be. I understand why Stephen King decided on this, but it's just so lame, right? If you have read the other two books, you will know that Bill Hodges has been trying to be healthy. He has lost a lot of weight. He is in good shape. He is eating healthy. He is exercising. He has lost a lot of weight. He is not the same man that we meet in the first book, Mr. Mercedes. He has lost a lot of weight. He has a pep in his step. He is just out there. He's living life. He's Gucci. And all of a sudden he has prostate cancer. And not only that, folks, not only does he have prostate cancer, but this cancer has spread to his liver. And he has a couple of months to live. Maybe. Okay, and I'm just like, oh, really? It's just, right, of course, this illness that Stephen King just pulls out of nowhere is obvious that he has arrived at another obstacle. He doesn't really know what to do with Bill Hodges. He doesn't know how to end Bill Hodges' story. So he pulls out this disease because it's so easy. Because, of course, at the end, Bill Hodges dies a couple of months after, solving the case. And I'm just like, really? Just like that? How convenient. And this is how I would classify the silly, goofy nonsense that happens in this book. A lot of stuff that happens in this book is just so convenient. It's just such a coinky-dink, isn't it? It's convenient because Stephen King obviously didn't know what to do. So he pulled out these cliches almost, right? But let me say this, okay? I have to say this one last time when it comes to Brady Hartsfield, because I'm so tired of this guy, the worst lame-o loser possible. Even though he has all of these supernatural powers, even though he is hijacking other people's bodies and replacing their consciousnesses with his own, So he is no longer in a coma. He can just hop from person to person. With all of this power, my guy Brady is still just a petty, pathetic, know-nothing, vanilla, lackluster, lame-o loser. He still has this silly, goofy grudge against Bill Hodges for some stupid-ass reason that is just petty. It's not explained. There is no reason. It's just silly, goofy nonsense. He is not a mastermind. He is not high IQ. He is not a master manipulator. He is not a menace. He is not a danger. He is not sinister. He is not somebody that should be regarded as anything else other than what he actually was. A silly nobody who alleged that he was top dog, that he was hot shit. He wasn't. Okay? Brady Hartsfield to me is kindergarten level in terms of his evil, in terms of his so-called plans. He has no plans, folks. He doesn't really have that high intelligence because he gets obsessed over the smallest things, and what his goals are so preposterous, so merely microscopic. At the end, let me say this. The ending, when Bill Hodges and Holly Gibney confront Brady Hartsfield at that hunting lodge, and how that plays out, it was just so ridiculous that I felt embarrassed for Stephen King. I read that entire scene chapter and I was just like, oh boy, oh no. It's embarrassing. It is so lame. It's so convenient how the way Bill Hodges and Holly Gibney survive and how they take down Brady Hartsfield is just so goofy. It's a Deus Ex Machina. Whatever you want to call it. It's just convenient. It's a coinky dink. Right? So finally, Brady Hartsfield dies for good. Okay, Hodges and Holly Gibney, they take out Brady Hartsfield, and that's about it. And then the final chapter, Bill Hodges goes to the hospital to get treatment for his prostate cancer, and of course he dies a couple of months later. And the last couple of pages deal with Holly and Jerome being sad at Bill Hodges' grave. And listen, this is the only thing that's truly sad and depressing and disappointing. After they defeat Brady Hartsfield, we go from that to Bill Hodges is dead, fuck you, I'm out of here. That's how it happens. We don't get a single page or paragraph or sentence with Bill Hodges afterwards. He just dies, bruh. We don't get... I would have wanted a couple of pages of him just going through his cancer treatment, being in the hospital. Like they have a birthday party for him in the hospital. He turns like 70 years old, I think. And then afterwards, his funeral. And I'm just like, bruh. Like Bill Hodges is, kind of the only character that I really cared about. Maybe Holly. A little bit. And we don't really get to have an intimate moment with Bill Hodges. Was he afraid of his cancer? Was he afraid of dying? Did he have regrets regarding his family, his divorced wife and his estranged daughter? You know, something. I wanted a bit of a intimate confession with Bill Hodges as he, suffered in the hospital, maybe. Something. No, we just hop on over to his funeral. And I'm just like, we are left with Holly and Jerome, and unfortunately they don't have what it takes to be protagonists. Not yet, at least. We know that there is a novel all about Holly Gibney, but they don't have what it takes to carry on without Bill Hodges. Bill Hodges was the meat and potatoes of this trilogy, and he just dies off screen, bruh. Off screen, bruh. And we are left with his gravesite. And I'm just like, I just wanted a couple of sentences about him. Something. How did he feel? He was optimistic, I guess, but he died just like that. And, unfortunately, this ending doesn't give me any closure. I'm not feeling as positive as I should be. It's a bit downcast. I'm depressed, bruh. Because I can see that Bill Hodges could have been a great protagonist if Stephen King actually tried, right? It's just, he gets this illness out of nowhere and he just dies. And to top it all off, to show you yet again that, I don't know, maybe Stephen King was a bit bored by the third book. Because of Brady Hartsfield's powers, he can project his consciousness in technology and into people. I guess maybe this kind of demonstrates that there is something beyond just the physical body, right? So my thing is, when Bill Hodges and Holly Gibney kill Brady Hartsfield with the fucking snowmobile or whatever, it would have been interesting to find out that perhaps, I wanted a hint that perhaps Brady Hartsfield projected his consciousness, I don't know, into somebody else, into a different dimension, in a parallel dimension, something. I would have wanted a hint that maybe we weren't done with Brady Hartsfield. Something. Like maybe at the moment of death, maybe Brady Hartsfield discovered that, hey, yo, there is another world beyond death, bruh. Because he has those mental powers now, those supernatural powers. He could have seen things, right? But we do not get anything. And I would say that this is lazy writing on Stephen King's part, right? Because think about this. It could have helped the novel as a whole if Brady Hartsfield, at the moment of death, maybe he sees something beyond in the darkness as he dies. He sees something terrifying and he is so shocked that he cries or something. Because of his powers, he can see stuff beyond, the spectrum. He can see monsters or something, right? That would have been, that would have been a nice 360 in another direction. That would have been a surprise. That would have been a shocker. But Stephen King doesn't do anything with that. It's over. He died. It's over. He got run over by a snowmobile and his guts came flying out and he died in the snow. And I'm just like, and then Bill Hodges dies and it's over. It's over. Right? It's just unfortunate. I had such expectations, right? Because I'm a writer myself, I can clearly see that this trilogy of books could have been way better in so many aspects. Stephen King, if he actually tried, could have made these books into something tremendous if he stopped with the bullshit. Okay, but he didn't try. By the third book, I'm just like, it's a lot of filler. And let me tell you something. If I remember correctly, the original title of this book, End of Watch, was supposed to be The Suicide Prince, because Brady Hartsfield, with his supernatural powers, he forces people to commit suicide, right? So he is referred to as the Master of Suicide, or the Suicide Prince. And I guess the publisher was not having any of that. Listen, the title alone, The Suicide Prince, it goes too hard. It's too great for such a book. Okay, this book, End of Watch, because it comprises so much filler, does not deserve such a cool title as The Suicide Prince. End of Watch suffices as a title. This book, in general, generally speaking, is a lot of filler. Is a lot of just police investigations, finding clues, hacking computers, hacking emails. Oh boy, Holly Gibney being autistic and ADHD, right? I'm just like, come on, bro. And Brady Hartsfield just being racist for the sake of racism. For no reason. It's never explained, because his mama was kind of racist, and so he is racist. But we do not get to the bottom of why Brady is so hateful and angry and just wants to hurt people. All right. And I guess he's a psychopath, right? But I'm just like, I wanted more. And if this trilogy does anything, it should serve as an example as what you should never do as a writer. Okay. These books are a lesson. All of you aspiring writers should read them from cover to cover, because they have valuable lessons as to what you shouldn't do. You should never just write stuff. And Stephen King, on occasion, he just writes stuff. He wanted to write a trilogy of crime novels, and he just wrote stuff. Some of it is fantastic. A lot of it is just minutia and miscellaneous nothing. Okay? But maybe I'm being too harsh. I don't know. Tell me what you thought of this trilogy of books in the comment section. That's about it. If you enjoy this content, if you want to support your boy, I got a few books on Amazon. The link will be down below. If the link does not work, you can search my name, Griffith Samsara. Thanks for watching. Keep on reading good books. See ya.